Hi everyone. Today is Friday, October 28th. It's the last day of the month. I'm going to do a recap now of the trades that I took today. As usual, the mistakes that I made, the wins that I had, what I would have done differently, and I'm going to analyze them one by one and explain everything. So hopefully you can learn from it something. And obviously, for me to review my mistakes and what I did right and wrong so I can learn from it. So I hope you will enjoy it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on the notifications, and let's start. So first trade I'm going to go over is Ford. These are 5-minute candles. And I'm using an algo that changes the color of the candles based on the trend. So these are regular candles, just with the colors changed a bit. As long as the trend is up, the candles stay green. As long as they're down, they stay red. But these are regular candles. So these are the levels I had from my mentor for levels for F for today, Friday. Obviously, first candle across this level, I am not taking it first candle. Second candle, I took this entry. So you can see here, I took this entry on this candle break, and with the target is to go to here, 1342. And this is my stop loss right here. And this trade, I ended up losing money. And what happened was basically it went up a little bit. I stopped out over here at break even. Once it got to this point, I raised my stop loss to break even and stopped out. In hindsight, that was a good thing because eventually it would have hit my stop loss anyway. But based on my methods and based on what I'm trying to do, I shouldn't have changed the stop loss until it got at least halfway to target and I took out some profit. So I don't believe I took out any profit on this when this happened. Maybe I took out a small position. So we can look at that over here. So I'm going to ignore these two trades. These were swing trades. I'm not going to review them right now. So this is my first F trade. So yeah, I did take a big profit. So you can see over here, I entered 200 shares. So I'm buying shares instead of options for these trades for many reasons. But biggest reason is there are no fees and it's much easier to get in and out of the trade, no slippage. And I'm just increasing the size to account for what I'm doing right now, which is right now my risk limit is $10 loss, $20 profit. That's what I'm looking for. Obviously, it's very small, but it allows me to take many trades to test my theories and test my methods. And once I can be confident that I'll be profitable, I will be able to increase the size accordingly and start making more money. So I entered 200 shares. I did take small profit. So I entered 326. Here, I sold it a little bit. 5 minutes later was just to lower the size because I realized my size was a little big. So I sold it, break even. I made a cent. And then I took small profit at 955, 1330 cents. So that is over here, right here. So, sorry. Yeah, 330, right? Let's just go back. 955 at 1330. So, sorry about that. All right. So 955. So that would be right about, let me make this bigger. Right about here. So I did take small profit and then I moved my stop to break even and stopped out. So I should have taken small profit and probably not move my stop to break even, just leave it here. But regardless, what happened was I stopped out and then I immediately took a second and went across again. And that's my second trade. So you will see this is my first trade. I stopped out right after I took profit at 1330, a little bit profit. I stopped out at break even. And then my next F trade is right here. I entered right after that 1003 at 1323, which was my original entry that I was planning on. And I took some small profit here as well. And then ended up stopping out at break even again. So obviously this trade never hit my target. So trade was going sideways and I stopped out twice. Because I raised my stop to break even, I didn't end up losing money. I just took small profit on these. I kept waiting on this one and then drew this trend line of declining resistance. And then when it broke out right here, so you can see RSI, the daily, this is daily RSI, broke over 50. Also EMA 921, which I'm using, crossed over. So those were like extra confirmations for me. The trend was turned into green. That's the algo that I'm using for trends, for the trend. So the trend turned back into green. So I took it on the break of this. And with the more modest goal of basically previous high where it bounced previously, I'm still in this trade right now. So I did take some profit at these levels, 1323 mostly, I believe. I took some profit. So I have probably about half the position left. And it's already 235 now. So I'm probably going to hold it till the end of the day. And my stop is at 1312. So right below this support over here. And I am going to hold it and then either sell it if it hits the target or sell it around here. Worst case, sell it at break even, but I am profitable on this trade. So that's the third trade. You can see it over here, right here. This is the third trade I entered. So basically I re-entered the same trade for the third time at 12.19, 140 shares. And I already took, you can see I took here some profit at the 13.23 level. I did exit more. I have 66 shares left now, more or less all exited at around this price. So obviously I would much rather get to my target. But if it doesn't get there, I'll take this profit as well. So the idea here is you could see same trade 3 times, did not hit my target on any of them. And I actually could have lost money. Even if I stopped out on the first and the second, I kept the losses at minimum. Once I had some profit, I took a little bit and moved the stops up so not to lose too much. And because my target is high and my stop loss is tight, I could take this trade for the third time. And if I do hit the target on this time, I'm definitely going to cover any losses that I would have had in these 2 trades. In this case, I don't have any losses because I ended up stopping at a break even. But even if I kept the stop limit to its full on both these trades, first trade, basically I would not have stopped at, and I would not have entered the second trade. So the first trade I would have stopped at over here. So that would be 1 time. And then I would have re-entered here. And this would cover the loss because this loss is 10%. And here, this is 20%, not 20%, but actually 2 times the loss. So, and then halfway through is 1 time the loss. So this trade would have definitely covered this trade. I would have been break even. And if it does end up hitting the target, I will be profitable. So that's the 4th trade. The next trade I took was X. So I took this early in the morning and I made a mistake on it, which is pretty much why I lost money. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have bought this, and I'm going to explain to you why. So here is the trade. These were my levels. So as you can see, it opened here, 9:30 at around $20. And then even though this candles are red, if I turn this off, they're really green. So this candle's green, kept going up. I should have taken it on this level. We broke this level. I should have taken it all the way to here. That would have been an easy win, but I only opened my computer at around 9:45. So I missed this one. I missed this. I was around here and was waiting for it to break this level to go to this level. So that's right here. That's this trade. As you can see, RR is 2. My stop is 11 cents down and my goal is for 22 cents. So I entered it right here. It went up a little bit right away, bounced right back, stopped me out right away. So I lost money on this trade. In hindsight, I should not have entered this trade because the entry was good, the timing was good, but the stock wasn't good. The stock had weakness right out of the gate. You can see here it got gapped down all the way from 24 all the way to 20. So we measure that. That's 5.5%. It opened 5.5% lower than yesterday. So granted, it did fill the gap almost. Well, it did fill the gap actually all the way here immediate. But compared to everything else, most other stocks today, they open green. So you see this one opened green right away. The ones that I was trading, Walmart went down a bit, but went right back up. So this stock overall from the stocks that I was looking at, from the tickers that I was looking at, was weak. I should not have traded it. As you can see, it did go bounce right back down all the way down. And I did not take this and definitely lost money in this trade. So the next trade I took is Snap. And this trade, I should have been profitable on it, easy, but I made a couple of mistakes, which I'm going to review now. So hopefully next time I don't make these mistakes, and hopefully you can learn from it also and figure out and understand how not to repeat this mistake and what was the right way to trade this today. So as you can see, I entered right here. These were the levels I had. The stock opened strong today, kept going up. See the real candles, the real colors, so up, down, up, down, up, down, overall up. Broke this level. I entered at 1981. This was my target. This was my stop loss. So our risk return ratio 0.09. That's good. Obviously this didn't go my way. I went right down and I stopped out. So stopped out right on this candle, I believe. So as you can see here, I bought them at 10:09, stopped out about 11 minutes later. I lost $10. That was my risk, my planned risk, $10. So that's fine. Kept waiting, climbed back up, crossed again. Right here, I re-entered. First mistake I made when I re-entered was I didn't re-enter the same size. So in order for the system to work, that when I stop out, I re-enter, and then if it goes to target, I make money, has to be the same size so that I make up what I lost plus profit. If I lower the size, which I did in this case, I lower the size a bit, then even if it goes to target, I may not make enough to cover this loss or just make a little bit over it. So I have to remember whenever I stop out of a trade, if the trade is still valid, it goes back up, it crosses my level again, make sure to enter with the exact same size. So that way, if I'm right, As in this case, you could see this trade went exactly to target. So this would have been a quick 10 minutes. I would have made back the $10 I lost here, plus another $10. I would have been up $10 in the trade, even though I lost one, I won one, would have been up $10. So that was my first mistake. I didn't size it enough. I lowered the size, so I ended up, that was the first mistake. Now I'm going to go to this second snap trade. This is the re-enter. As you can see, I re-entered here. I only took 50 shares. First trade was 76 shares. This is only 50 shares. So that's significantly less shares. Now, second mistake is, as you can see, I took profit on the way to target. 8 minutes later, had I waited 3 more minutes, I wouldn't be able to take this profit. This is about a third of the position. Should have taken it. I should have waited to target. And that was right here. So there was really no reason to take it. It wasn't going down, still going straight up. I just acted emotionally because I lost money here. I wanted to take some profit here to guarantee that I get at least some of it back. I would have waited 3 more minutes. I would have been able to take the profit over here. So that's my second mistake. Third mistake is that once it hit it here, it hit it momentarily and pulled right back. My sell limit order wasn't set. I believe it was set at 10:04 and it only hit 10:03 because this target is 10:04. I should have set it probably a cent lower, but that wasn't the main issue. The main issue is only another third of the position was set to take out here. The rest of it, I was aiming as runners for here. So I didn't calculate this correctly. I should have set 90% of the position that I had left to take profit here, especially because I already lost the first trade. This would have been a guaranteed win, would have made back my money, would have been able to move on. I did not do that. So as you can see, I only took at 10:03, 10:01, I took 10, 4, 14, another 18. So I took out another third of the position and the rest I moved the stops to break even to entry. And as you can see, about 40 minutes later, stopped out. Then so I made some money on the trade. I made $6, but I was planning on making 2R. I only made 1R. So I undersized. So you could see previous trade, I lost $10. Here, I only made back $6. Had I played this correctly, I would have made back $20 and been profitable on this trade. So hopefully I'm going to remember this next time. And hopefully this is something that you could implement in your trading. As whenever you re-enter a trade, the same parameters, make sure the size is the same. Make sure to be patient, take your profit at target and have the order ready with most of the I don't have set numbers. I'm not at that experience yet and I'm still learning it as I'm going. But I would say for me at target, I should probably take out at least 75%, especially if I'm ready. If this is my second or third entry and I hit the target on the second entry, I would probably take 80, 85%. If it's third entry, I would probably take almost all of it just to make sure that I cover my previous trade. As you can see here, after I hit break even, of course, it went again to target. So technically, I would have taken out most of the trade over here and got back. I could have re-entered the trade and take it again. I did not do that. So overall, this trade is a loser on both entries. First entry, $10 loser. Second entry, $6 gainer. Overall, I lost $4. So yeah, I need to play this better next time. Next trade I took for today was PLTR. This trade, I significantly undersized. I only took 10 shares. So at a risk of 5 cents per share, that was only a 50-cent risk. So I basically just took it to see if I was right about the theory that I had. And the main reason that I lowered the size so much was because I didn't want to repeat the mistake that I made on X. If you remember X, I entered and it bounced right back because the stock was weak. PLTR seemed also weak out of the gate. It opened around here, but then it just dropped straight down, bounced off this level, and then started going back up. So my plan was to get it across at this level and then ride it all the way to target. But I was worried about the trend might continue down and then it might go back down. So I did not have enough confidence in my own research and my own analysis. And I was worried it's going to go down because I had to lose a trade before. So I took a really small size. I entered here on this candle and I did take some profit on the way with this choppiness. I took some profit around here, I believe. I'm going to check in a minute. And then eventually did hit target and I took some profit and then stopped out right at 858, I believe. So let's look at this. So this is the trade. As you can see, I only made 81 cents, right? But that's not what's important for me. What's important for me is the return. You know, if I manage to realize the return that I was planning for and if I handle the trade correctly. So I entered 10 at 850. I did take some profit at 856, which is halfway to target. So my target was at 860. That was my profit target. So you could see I took a third out at 856, and then I took the rest out, well, another half at target at 59,860. And then the last two I left as runners. Again, this was a very small trade, so it didn't really matter. I just wanted to see what was going to happen. And he stopped at 8. Overall, this trade was pretty good. I was right. And the target, I should have taken a larger size, even just to make it count, just to make it matter. 50-cent loss, $2 gain or $1 gain is not, even for testing is very low. I should have kept it at a $5 loss, $10 gain, which in case I would have made $10, would have made this hour, this trade, the effort that I put into it, worth it. So next time that I'm not sure about a trade, or rather I am pretty confident that, that it could work out, but I had a previous loss, or I'm not 100%, I will take half the size. So my regular size is a 10%, $10 risk. I'll take $5 risk, and not so little. So that's the lesson for me from this trade. Trust yourself more when when you make a theory, you have that hypothesis, take advantage of it and run with it. If I'm not 100% sure, I will take half the size. Unless it's a re-entry, and a re-entry, I have to make sure to take same sizes like I learned before with Snap. So yeah, that's this trade. PLTR. The next trade I took was Walmart. Walmart started out strong in the morning around here, open at 140.62 or so, hovered around this level. I should have taken this right here. I should have taken this trade. If I was using the algo, I probably wouldn't have taken it because it was still red, but I definitely could have taken it here. This should have been a good return because the next level is only here, and with the stop right around, well, actually it could probably be around here or even around here. This would have been a good return. Went straight to target. I did not take it because I wasn't watching it. And I was waiting. Actually, I was watching it. I was waiting for it to break this trend line, and I wasn't confident about this trend line, and basically I just wasn't confident. That's the reason why I did not take this trade over here. I did end up taking it over here. Once it crossed this level, I believe in this candle, 1045-ish. Let's see. Yeah, so 1051. So this candle right on the cross, I took it and chopped for a little while. Almost stopped out over here at 11:30. And then I took some profit. As you can see here, 11:40 at 142.04, 142.18, 142.31. I took some profit. So for about 25 shares, I took 8, 12. I took half the position out. Well, actually, sorry, no. This is, I added more to the position at this point at 11:40. So that's right here. I added because I realized I undersized a bit. So I added more once this did not stop out and I went back up. I added more over here to make it regular size. And then I took some profit right here at 11:43 and 11:47. I took some profit, 142.18, 142.31. So that's about here. And then here I took some more profit. My mistake was that after I took the profit, I moved my stop loss up to 141.86, I believe. But I didn't take out enough profit. Well, took out 8. So I took out 8. So that's about a third of the position, a little less than a third of the position. But I moved my stop loss up. Generally, I would move my stop loss up when I'm over halfway to target. I would move it up to break even. Normally here, it didn't hit halfway to target. It almost hit halfway to target. So target was 67 cents. So at about 34 cents up. So that would have been probably around here, somewhere around here maybe. And as you can see here, it didn't hit yet. So I shouldn't have moved the stops up at all. But if I did move them, I should have moved it to break even. Once I'm already moving it, move it to break even. There's no point to move it. I think for now, there's no point to move it up just a little bit. And then if I stop out, I'm definitely going to still lose money. But in this case, I stopped out. But if I kept my stop loss at the original place, I would not have stopped out. And then obviously this went to target. So it would have been a couple, 2-3 hours, would have been to target, and would have been a profitable trade. Instead, even though I took some profit early, this is a losing trade. This is a losing trade because I ended up stopping out on my stop loss that I made it higher, and I lost $2 on the trade. So not so bad, but this trade should have been profitable. If I would not have touched my stop loss, I would not have any issues. So as you can see here, my planned return was 1.9, and I ended up making 0.2, minus 0.2. I ended up losing money because of this mistake. So I need to remember not to do this again, so this doesn't happen. Next trade. So this one is actually my last trade for the day, not counting the third entry on forward, which I'm still in and which is profitable. This is my last one for the day, and this one target hit, but I made a mistake, and that's why I got kicked out. So this is for SPY. As you can see here, this is SPY for today. It's pretty strong. These levels are from my Discord, the group that I'm part of. It's a free group, and these levels are the levels for SPY from yesterday. I drew them yesterday, and this morning, every single one of them would have been profitable. So it opened here, across to this, almost hit target. This would have been profitable. Second entry, if you took here, probably not a good idea to take on support, but may have stopped out. But then right when it crossed back, take it again, profitable. Cross this one, take it here, profitable. Cross this one, take it here, profitable. Cross this one, take it here, profitable. So this could have been 5 profitable trades. I wasn't looking at SPY. Frankly, I don't have any much experience yet trading SPY, so not so comfortable with it. I did want to take a trade today just to test the waters and see how it moves and see if I could, how comfortable I am. I took shares instead of options because it's just like I mentioned before, shares right now work much better for me. And I'll make a separate video on the difference that switching from options to share has made for me in my trading, and why I think every trader, any trader, even a beginner trader that could afford it in terms of account size, getting a margin account without a day trade restriction, which you need either a $25,000 limit or there's some other ways, but for the most part, you need that. If you have the account size, shares, in my opinion, is so much easier to trade and so much better as a beginner, especially because you don't have to worry about a slippage when you buy and sell. Much easier to follow your stop limit and profit target. You don't have to calculate the option price. You could just go by the actual share price. Spread is usually extremely tight on these tickers, on the big tickers. So if your stop limit is 387, you're going to sell it most likely for 387. Whereas in an option, if you bought an option for $1 and your stop limit is at 89 cents and the spread is 3 cents, you might sell each one for $2 less, right? Instead of 89 cents, you might sell it for 87 or 86 or 80. Depends on the spread, depends how fast it drops. Not to mention the fees that are on options. So like I said, I'm probably going to make a separate video on that, on how to do that transition from options to shares. But either way, here in SPY, so as you can see, I entered on the break of this, and my goal was to get here, almost a 2R. Well, actually, yeah, almost a 2R. So to show you journal trade. So that's the trade is right. I lost $2 on this. So I only entered 3 shares, $1,000. My risk was about maybe 80 cents per share. So that doesn't matter. Again, I just entered it just to test the waters of the SPY and see how it moves and if I'm able to handle it. So as you can see, I bought 3 and I stopped out about 20 minutes later. Now, what's interesting about this trade is that it did hit the target. So what was my mistake here? Why didn't I make money? So my mistake is simple. Even though I'm always trying to get a 2R, so usually what I do is when I have a target, if this is the target, I'm just going to move this up or down until we get to the number 2. So you see your risk reward ratio, right? 2.1. So once it's at the number 2, I'm going to leave it. And that's going to be my stop limit. So that's 385.12. And I just set it and forget it. And then I look at it and that's it. So I entered here, 382. Stock went down to 385.12. Stock went down literally to 385.01 or 02, and then bounced right back all the way up to target. So this, I don't know if this is unique to SPY or this is in general, so I'm gonna have to trade SPY a little more to get a feel of it. But in hindsight, what I should have done is account for this wick over here and this wick over here. So this one closed at, didn't close. It wicked at lowest at 385.05. This one wicked at 385.59. Sorry, 384.85. So between these three, this looks like it's consolidating over here, and this is support. So support is right under this one, 385, it's 384.85. So if I would have accounted for that and gone to 384.82, let's say, or 83, my risk reward ratio would be only 1.5. So I may have not taken this trade, which is fine because, right, it's better not to take the trade than to take the trade and stop out because my stop was too tight. Or, yeah, so that's one mistake. One way of fixing this mistake is accounting for recent support and just putting the stop limit below them, even if it's a little bit less than the risk reward, and then just sizing small to account for, if my risk, I only want to lose $10, right? So, and my risk reward is only 1.5. So maybe I would size a little bit smaller. But really, generally, I probably wouldn't take the trade on a risk reward of 1.5. And then the second thing which I could have fixed it was, even with keeping the risk reward here, once I got kicked out over here, I should have re-entered right here. So remember, the point of the risk reward, having a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, is that So if I stop at once, I can re-enter again and again a third time and still not lose money, as long as I'm right on the second or on the third time. So in this case, I was wrong on the first time, or maybe not wrong, but my stop limit was too tight. I got kicked out. What I should have done is re-enter right away on the break of the level again, and within an hour and change. So from 12:10, well, actually I did it right here. So 12:10 to 1:05. So less than an hour, I would have hit my target. This is a great trade. If you look at it percentage wise, this is almost a 0.5% move. 1.80 and SPY. This is a respectable move. If you got options, this could be a 50% gain or more if it's a 0 DTE. So this is a great trade. I just handled it wrong and I did not re-enter. So yeah, so that's the story with this trade with SPY. So this concludes more or less my overall trading for today. Friday, this is the last day of the month of October. So this is the day is the start of the month. And for me personally, this month was the really good month in trading. I started learning this actually from scratch, from zero, June of this year, June 2022. And I've lost money every month. I probably lost until now a few thousand dollars, probably like $4,000 or so. And not including what I spent money on an expensive course, which taught me the basics, to start, get my start. In hindsight, I probably could have done well without it, but it did give me a shortcut. So I probably saved a couple weeks of research and YouTube and learning and learning from the wrong places and all that. So I think it was worth the money. So yeah, so between that and paying for TradingView, paying commissions, different tools, I'm down a good amount. I'm going to make a separate video on that as well, probably going over my progress and where I started. And, maybe once a month I will do it, of how much, every month in accounting, showing how much money I made or lost, and then my progress over time. But yeah, but for this month, the month of October, here is my totals. And this is the first month, like I said, that I'm green, that I made money. So I made $70. That's not a lot, obviously, very little, but first month green is the cause of celebration for me. I learned a lot of this month, mostly through my mentor that I found on Discord, a really good mentor, someone who's been trading for over 15 years with a lot of experience. And basically just to learn the principles of making it simple, going back to the basics. There's a lot of information out there for traders on YouTube and elsewhere. And most of it is just noise, almost like a lot of information that's not necessary. It just complicates things. So going back to the basics, really appreciate him giving me his time, and me and other people that are in this Discord. It's a free group, no money, no cost, no charge. I will probably link in the description below to that group if anyone wants to join. I'm not trying to promote the group or anything, just trying to be appreciative to a group and a mentor that gave me so much. And yes, the first month that I'm green, this is very encouraging. And as you can see here, small amounts. I made a conscious decision this month to downsize significantly, lower my stop limits to $10 and my winnings to $20 per trade, which enables me to take many more trades and able to test more and learn more without losing a significant amount. Also, Sword made the switch from options to shares this month, which is extremely helpful with commissions. I paid almost 0 commissions the entire month. With options, I probably would have paid hundreds of dollars just in commissions. So yeah, so that's a big difference. And another big thing to notice is that even though my win rate for the month is only 50%, so meaning I actually had exactly 22 winning trades and 22 losing trades, I'm still profitable because my winners on average are larger than my losers. This is a goal for me to work on for next month to make this number higher. So this should be double. So if my average losing is $7.50, my average win should be $15. And the reason it's not like that is, again, because when I stop out of the entire position at $10 down. So I almost always lose $10 when I stop out. When I win, when I hit the target, I keep taking profit before it hits the target. So that's causes my average win size to be lower. So granted, it's still more than my losses, so I'm profitable, but I need to work on it to be higher so that I'm more profitable and make this number at least double. So my profit factor is at least 2. That way, even if my win rate goes below 50%, which is not the end of the world, even if it's at 40% to 30%, well, not 30, but 40% or 35%, I would still not lose money. Obviously, my goal is to keep it at 50% higher. That way, I can keep it at 50% and just increase my profit factor to 2. Then that means for every dollar that I trade, I make $2. So increasing my size would basically be the next move. Slowly increasing my size to, 20%, $20 stop loss and $40 profit, and so on every week or two. Increase it a little bit until I could start actually really profiting from doing this. And obviously my goal, my long-term goal for the next 12 months is to hit $10,000 a month in profit. I would say that I am on track for that goal. I started in June. I probably lost every single month since June, probably $1,000 or $1,500. So this is the first month that I did not lose money and I made money. So obviously my first goal now is going to be to make up the money that I lost. So be at least at break even. I'm hoping to achieve that by the next 3-4 months. So the same amount of time it took me to lose it, hopefully I'll be able to make it back. So hopefully by March of 2023, I will be break even, meaning I will make about $3,000-$4,000 until then. I'm hoping. Let's see what happens. And obviously I still won't be really break even because I still need to cover the expenses that I paid and stuff like that. So, hopefully at that point it wouldn't be that hard. And then I will have until September of next year, well, actually October of next year, more likely to get this to $10,000 a month. So I'm really hoping that I make that goal. Even if I don't make that goal, hoping and have confidence that I will stay profitable and be profitable every single month, even if it's small amounts, and keep improving. So I know that I am going in the right direction. So this is a wrap for today's video. This was an extra long one. End of the week, end of the month. I took a lot of trades today on purpose to practice managing multiple positions at the same times, entries and exits, making sure my stop losses are in, the order limits are in, making sure they're all tied to each other. So, bracket orders and one cancels other orders, which again, I will probably make a separate video on that process and how I do it as well, if you're interested in following. So yeah, so a lot more information to come, a lot more to come. If you enjoy this, if you learned anything from this, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to come along and keep getting updated as soon as I release new videos of recaps or tactics or how I do things, how I think about things, how I go about learning and improving and all that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to give this video a like and let me know if you have any questions. This is the end of October. Again, personal achievement of finally a green month, or let's call this month break even. But yeah, finally a month that I don't lose money. So that's a celebration for me. Thank you for watching along and joining me on this, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.